All right, Kenman here, and I did something that I believe I once said I would not do again. Why subject myself to such chaos? Reasons. Yeah. Before we start, I'm not sponsored by anyone. Purchase everything at retail price. And I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. Man, this is weird shape. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. Okay, so I purchased a knife from this company and it was cheap and so-so and blah, whatever. And I basically said I didn't need to revisit that company. And well, here we are. One of my subscribers kind of recommended this. They said they liked it. Looks kind of cool. What in tarnation? And yeah, I mean, it did look kind of nice. And it had some good materials. So it was like... One of the main things I didn't like about the older one was it was kind of a cheap, it was under $20. And so, it had like a 7 CR or 8. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's kind of a cheapo. And I just kind of thought, from there on, I kind of wanted to just start sticking to more materials is something that I would actually kind of carry and want to use a little bit more than just the really super budget, but I still gotta pick up some of that budget stuff too. Anyone have any ideas what this is? Holy Christ. Box on the floor. Did I say bag on the floor? I don't remember. Bag on the floor. Wow, look at this stinking hog. Alright, so this is different. I don't remember the packaging of the last one. This is a Sitivien ST155 mini bag on the floor. Look at this beast of a thing. All right. So yeah, the reason is because this is Micarta and 14C28N. So material wise, I don't even know where to start with this thing. Oh my God. Material wise, it's not bad. Yeah. Can you hear me? I'm sorry. Oh, this is ridiculous, but wow, kind of fun. Okay, what are we looking at, Kenman? The Sitivien ST155 has a two-tone kind of half-coated 14C28N blade. And then we have this micarta, kind of a greenish micarta handle with this kind of texture to it. I don't know if that's kind of a burlappy kind of a texture. Maybe. Looks nice, though. Got some grooves and stuff cut into it. Is it too dark to do a dye project with? Maybe, maybe not. Oh. Okay, it's heavy, so it's going to drop. Yeah, okay. It's got a liner lock in there, so it's a little bit cut out on that one side. Easy to get to that liner lock. The blade's heavy enough that it basically can drop shut. Clip. Wow, look at it's like two posts for the, what? That's new. Not connected. Like, there's two posts for the screws for the clip. Cannot be swapped to the other side, so the lefties can't really swap out that clip. Got the rear flipper. Got the front flipper. Okay. We have a fuller hole. I can get my thumb into barely. It's kind of a fuller hole. It's kind of a weird shape, kind of a half. Almost looks like a hat. Can I flick it out? Almost. Yeah, see, like the hole almost looks like a hat. Why couldn't I flick that out? Generally, I'm pretty strong with the flick out. Okay. You got to kind of give it a little push for that flick out, which is fine. Wow. Yeah, that fuller hole is weird. The whole shape of this knife is just nutty. This thing is out there. We enjoy these unboxings. Hit the like button and subscribe if you would like to see more of this chaos. That front flipper works just fine. It's huge. It's tall. It's up there, so it's easy to kind of get to it. And then, of course, I say it's easy to get to it, and then I fail it. But that one actually works pretty good. It's big and it's bulky, though. This is a thick beast. The rear flipper is also easy to get at. It's kind of one of those ones you can't really push button, because if you push button it, it's going to come around, and then when it's trying to lock into place, I don't know if I could fail do it. Maybe you can't. Okay, so then, yeah, if you just kind of do that, it does kind of fail. But if you get in there and do the flip out, it flicks out pretty good. But it is heavy. If you're holding it upside down, all that weight pushing down. Sideways, yeah, see, there you go. I got it to catch. So you kind of have to make sure with this type of a flipper tab that you get your finger out of the way, which is fine. Huh. This thing is kind of neat. Centering is poor. You can see that is definitely kicked over to the right side. Center would be more over there. So that needs a little work. Lockup currently is actually solid. Is that a captive pivot? Probably not. I wonder if I can. Oh, I'm going to need both sides. I was going to say I could maybe just give it a slightly crank it down, kind of bring it to center. But that's pretty close to as tight as you want it to be. I don't even know if I want it any tighter. It's okay for now. But yeah, that centering, I can try to fix it later, but it's definitely off to the right. Oh, wow. This is really loose as well, I'm noticing. See that? Meet. Super easy. Yeah, those got cranked down quite a bit. So it's solid now, but I wonder if the way that those are set in there and they're individual, if they loosen easier, but that was loose. Okay. Let's get back to it. Flicking it out. Kind of feels like a little hot spot. This clip right here, it's kind of sharp on this corner. You can see the corner, it's not really equal. It kind of swoops up this way a little bit. And that corner feels kind of hot. This one feels fine. If they were both the same, it wouldn't be a big deal, but that seems to poke out quite a bit. Feels okay in the hand though. Lock up, like I said, it was solid. Feels like a solid blade. That lock doesn't push over into it all that far, but it's not terrible, I guess. Man, that thing is thick. The front flipper, like I said, works pretty good. There is some double sets of jimps. There's some small rack of jimps right here where it kind of goes up almost. Kind of a little ramp up for your thumb to sit in. And then there has this choke up spot where then you're going to go over it. And then you've got these huge quad jimps right there that are just absolutely enormous. This razor blade. Yeah, I said that. This thing is nuts. I don't know. Lou's there. It's the one who's was in one of my lives. If you haven't seen, I go live on Thursday nights, 6 p.m. Central, for usually about 3 hours. Pretty fun. Little chaos will ensue. It's good stuff. Check it out if you're interested. But Lou said, I asked everyone what, like, kind of pocket checked what everyone was carrying, and he said he was carrying this Sitivien ST155, and I'm like, what? He's like, it's pretty cool, actually. And so I looked it up, and when I found out it was Micarta and 14C28N, and it looked like this ridiculous thing, I was like, okay, why not? I think it was maybe like $40. So not too terribly expensive. I think there was like a 10% coupon or $10 off. That choke up point, that is how you do a forward choil for choking up on, because this is where your finger would sit if you're holding it here, and then that choke up is just huge. Your finger falls all the way into it. You're not getting a nick or a cut on that right there, and you're locked into that spot. That is real deal. I feel good about that. Comment below, what do we think about this thing? Is this thing ridiculous or what? Wow. Branding's got the ST, the Sitivien on that side, 14C28N over there. Another thing when you got these cheaper companies is they might have good materials, but then how well did they heat treat the blade? Is it going to be able to handle, because the material is good. If they didn't put it, heat treat it properly, then it might not hold the properties that you desire. So we don't know for sure. It looks neat though. It definitely looks crazy. How do because it's like from there to there, but then it's like from there to there, but then you go to like a cross cut. It's about 7.5 from front to back if you were to kind of go that height and that height in the middle. About 7.5. The blade is pushing 3.5. And then the cutting surface is 2 5/8 of a straight kind of razor shaped cut or cutting surface. 4-inch, it's almost 4 inches down on the thinner side and closer to 4 3/8 on the upper side. So it's not super long, but it's a chunky boy. Blade 0.16 1600. A lot of blades are like 0.11 0.12. So 16 is huge, and most handles are about a 1/2 inch or maybe a little less. 0.75, 3/4 of an inch on the handle. So this thing is just a thick, chonky turd, huh? It's pretty dark. I could do something to that micarta, maybe. Seen them in my dye projects. You can check one out there. Maybe I could do a weathered technique or something, make it look older and dirtier than it already kind of does. It looks pretty good. I could probably just leave it like that. All right, comparisons. I always compare everything with the CJRB Pyrite. It's a really nice EDC, common, not quite full size, excellent working knife, button lock. And it's pretty common. There's a lot of different pyrites out there that are available. And if you don't know anything about the pyrite, I would recommend one, especially like the rose gold buoy. So they've got quite a bit of variety in the pyrite selections. What is that? Okay, so size-wise, they're almost the same as far as handle length and blade length from tip to tip. It's literally about the same size as the pyrite. Definitely wider and thicker by a significant amount. But lengthwise of the blade and the handle, you put her next to the pyrite, it's really about the same. I was trying to find stuff that was kind of similar, so I grabbed my Kaiser Sheepdog. Figured that might be a fairly common one that people would have or know. They're pretty close. Looks like the handle's almost the same. The blade on the Sheepdog is just a little bit bigger, but that thickness from top to bottom is kind of similar. I like my cleavers, so I got the Sitivien. I gotta zoom out. The Mastodon, because why wouldn't you? Especially, like I said, I'm a cleaver. I like all knives, but why, you see some cool cleavers and crazy kind of straight edge knives, and I'm into it. I want to add them to my collection. Mastodon's definitely bigger, longer, but the top to bottom thickness of that blade is similar. Go to the extreme. We got the Corvid Mini Cleaver. Fantastic knife right here. Super fun. Tiny little guy. But one knife that I have that definitely is similar would be the Artisan Cutlery Proponent. If you don't know anything about the Proponent, It is pretty cool. This one has that same kind of fidget factor where you've got thumb studs instead of the whole, no front flipper, but it's got that big rear flipper and that huge razor straight blade. So the proponent makes this little Sitivien ST155 look like a little toy. Although, man, this thing is big. What does everyone think about this bad boy? Materials are pretty good. Like I said, I don't know how well the heat treat is on the 14C28N, but that micarta looks nice. The action on this is pretty good. You know, I mean, definitely several different deployment options. So it gives you that. It gives you that factor of that thick, kind of odd. You could show this off and people would be like, what are you? What in the? That's what? If that's the type of reaction you're looking for, then this Sitivien might be right up your alley, or definitely the proponent. If you want to get that reaction from people, take the proponent out of your shorts pocket and show it off. You know anything about this? Watch my video on it right there, huh? But yeah, the proponent is a serious hog. I dig it. I do have a link to my affiliate with the Artisan Cutlery, CJRB, and several others down there. If you're interested, you could check those out. Go to that link and buy something, support the channel. But yeah, several versions of this are also available. Check them out. Super cool. Stay sharp. See you soon.